Person of the Year. But in this case, it was quite obviously the only choice.
Donald Trump has won Time magazine's Person of the Year. Deservedly so, in my opinion.
I am Eric Cortellessa. I'm a national political correspondent at Time magazine, and I've spent the last year covering Donald Trump's campaign for the White House. Donald Trump has singularly reshaped American politics and has transformed this country through his force of will, his ability to surmount obstacles that nobody thought he could, and for what he has revealed about the desires of the American electorate.
There was quite a lot of ridiculous speculation that Kamala Harris was going to win the award. That happening would have been absurd and would have terminally tarnished the reputation of Time magazine. In reality, it could only have been Donald Trump. No one has so shaken up not only US politics, not even Western politics, but global politics. You only need to look at the reshaping of the political landscape globally at the moment to see the impact that Trump is having even prior to his inauguration. This time, there is a certain electricity in the air that is even evident in circles on the left. Trump has caused a realignment in global geopolitics.
This year, not a hard choice. We certainly asked the president-elect about many of those people who you just mentioned, and he's got opinions about all of them. But this was an obvious decision for those of us at Time.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at this, I agree with you. That had to be Donald Trump. And really the moment was the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania. Because when people forget history, you say a year to them, 1973, their minds scramble what happened that year. You know. But that moment where he's bleeding and saying, fight, 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 and that moment is when Bobby Kennedy Jr. made an effort to go see Trump and talk about assassination, what happened to his father. And that moment, Elon Musk endorsed him, and it kind of coalesced for Trump. And then the symbol in Milwaukee for the Republican the National Committee was the bandaged ear. And at that point, it started looking like it was going to be the year of Trump. Only one on the list that could have replaced that would have been Harris if she had won, and we would be talking about our first woman president, but alas, that didn't happen.
I think that is a transformational moment for Trump and for the country. We asked him about it, and he said a lot of people changed how they thought about me during that moment. It's harder to get him to talk about how it changed him.
Right.
But he certainly recognizes that a moment when he moves from being maybe a factional political leader to a cultural one.
The transformational moment was the first attempted assassination. The obvious point is made that it could not have been anyone else that won the award. He has become a cultural leader, and there is a reshaping of the world. There is a sense globally that this time it's going to be different, that this time it's going to be better. It will be a better administration, more coherent, with Trump having learned and digested many of the lessons from his first term. He won't be making those mistakes again. If you like this sort of comment, please like, share, and subscribe.
VP-elect J.D. Vance and former First Lady, soon-to-be First Lady again, Melania Trump, both joined him for that big moment there. And Time magazine unveiled the cover, writing, quote, "Since he began running for president in 2015, perhaps no single individual has played a larger role in changing the course of politics and history than Trump."
Not only did Trump open the New York Stock Exchange, but there was a big cheer for him and a strong sense that the market is going to be in much better shape for him taking the reins, with reductions in regulations to come and all that means in removing the shackles from the economy and allowing the economy to fly free. But of course, it's not everyone. You always have those on the left with Trump derangement syndrome.
I don't know if this would be a controversial pick or not. It's hard to not say, given how Time's always said, for good or ill, the person who's most impacted the year. We had a trial. We had an assassination attempt. We had the most tumultuous campaign in modern history. We had rhetoric that, at least we thought around this table, was the most divisive in recent American history. And then we had a victory where Donald Trump improved in 49 to 50 states. Talk about this year, this just vertiginous year.
Typically, Morning Joe had his go, talking about the result being controversial. He goes back to the trial and the tumultuous campaign and, according to him, divisive rhetoric. He seems to forget those on the left calling Trump a fascist and Hitler, leading to 2 assassination attempts. I genuinely thought after the first assassination attempt that the Democrats would get it and tone the rhetoric down. Instead, they ramped it up, and they have the absolute gall to say that Trump is divisive. You also had Don Lemon being totally unhinged, but I've not been able to access the video of his unhinged spray about Trump. And then you have the sane position that Trump took in talking after getting the award.
This is an honor, a tremendous honor. I brought some of our compatriots along with us. They're going to do a beautiful job for you for the next 4 years. And it's really been something very special. And I have to say, Time Magazine getting this honor for the second time. I think I like it better this time, actually, but we did a good job. We had a great first term, despite a lot of turmoil caused unnecessarily. But the media's tamed down a little bit. They're liking us much better now, I think. If they don't, we'll have to just take them on again, and we don't want to do that. But I do want to thank Time Magazine. I've been on the cover many times. I don't know who has the record, but I can only probably talk well about 25% of the covers. 25% are great. The others I just sort of hide. But it's been an honor, and every time it's an honor, I will tell you. And thank you very much for doing it. And thank the whole group at Time. Really very professional people. Thank you very much.
After thanking Time for the award, Trump got into some policy issues.
But it's true. I think we're going to have a tremendous run. We have to straighten out some problems, some big problems in the world. When we left, we didn't have any of these problems. We didn't have Russia with Ukraine. We didn't have Israel October 7th. We didn't have the Afghanistan disaster. We didn't have inflation. We had no inflation. And we had a very strong economy. And we're going to do that again. But I think we're going to even up it because now we have experience that we didn't have. Now I know everybody. You know, when I first came in, we came down, Melania and I, a great first lady, who's very popular, by the way. She rang in. She rang in the bell. She rang in the bell. But we came down and we're driving down Pennsylvania Avenue, and it was so beautiful. I said, you know, I've never done this before. I didn't know anybody. I got to the Oval Office, and I'm picking all these big positions, and I didn't really know the people in Washington, but boy, did I get to learn fast. And now we do, and I think we have an incredible staff behind me and others that aren't here. And we're going to do a fantastic job. We're going to create the incentive theory again. In fact, I just announced yesterday, I didn't announce it for this reason, but anybody investing $1 billion or more gets a very expedited approval process.
Trump highlighted many of the policy issues that now face his administration after the policy debacles that he is going to inherit from Biden. Apart from the policy issues that he outlines that he is getting from Biden, he also announces a policy where someone investing $1 billion or more will have an extremely expedited approval process, and that is not before time. Then we get to the FBI and Wray's resignation announcement.
After weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down. My goal is to keep the focus on our mission, on the indispensable work each of you is doing every single day. And in my view, this is the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray while reinforcing the values and principles that are so important in how we do our work.
Wray will retire when there is the transition from the Biden to the Trump team in January. The leftist talking heads in the media put it that Wray was appointed for a period of 10 years. He wasn't. The term is time limited to 10 years to prevent a J. Edgar Hoover running the FBI for decades, a situation that nobody wants to happen again. The reality is the FBI director serves at the pleasure of the president, and that has always been the case. Joe Scarborough, or Morning Joe, has weighed in about the politicization of the FBI.
Is this for this side or is for... No, the New York office, they were against Hillary Clinton. They didn't like Hillary Clinton. We knew that during the 2016 campaign. The D.C. office didn't like Donald Trump. And Donald Trump got elected the first time because James Comey, after not indicting Hillary Clinton, decides he's going to hold a press conference and say, yeah, for the first time, by the way. Yeah, she's not guilty, but she's politically guilty, which was just an outrageous norm. And then 10 days before the election, we know exactly what he did. The FBI screws up on both sides. They're politicized on both sides.
Scarborough states that the New York office of the FBI didn't like Hillary Clinton and that the Washington office did not like Trump. He states that the FBI is politicized on both sides. While the extent of the politicization on the right is open to interpretation, it is heavily politicized on the left. You just need to see the FBI's behavior during the Biden administration to realize that. This might be the first time that I've agreed in any way with what Joe Scarborough says. Is he starting to take the red pill? I seriously doubt it. I think he is way too far gone for that. And then we have a nominal Republican, while a rhino in reality, talking head in Geraldo Rivera, taking a completely unbalanced and illogical take on the FBI and its leadership.
To that in a second, but Geraldo, the idea that Kash Patel would be the one to reform the FBI, given that, according to a lot of other people who have commented on this, a lot of them don't think that he has the qualifications just sort of in the sort of nuts and bolts of the organization to do the job, but also because, as I mentioned, he has a list of people that he said he wants to go after, which seems like not the definition of the job.
I don't know a lot about Kash Patel. I've never met him as far as I know. All I know is that he seems to me, from what I read and what I see and hear, is that he's part of the, if not the chairman of, the lunatic wing, the Steve Bannon, Alex Jones wing of the MAGA movement. Throw Matt Gaetz in there, if you will. But Kash Patel, if you're looking for an objective, professional, resurrector, savior of the FBI, you better not hold your breath waiting for Kash Patel to deliver. I
wonder what gives me the idea that Geraldo Rivera just might not like Kash Patel. This is a rant by CNN that Kash Patel is not competent enough. Geraldo says he doesn't really know him, but then he calls him the chairman of the lunatic wing of the MAGA movement. Geraldo is very much part of the establishment, and we know that the establishment does not want to lose control of doing their business as usual, as corrupted and inefficient as business as usual is. Someone said that sometimes America gets radically off track and needs someone to give the USA a swift kick in the butt to get it back on track. Donald Trump and his administration will be that kick. What are your thoughts on Trump being Time Person of the Year and of Wray quitting the FBI? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.